By the end of the day, I was exhausted. I turned off my phone. I was being judged and talked about over something that was deeply personal, something that had taken me years to come to terms with. I knew I had made the right decision for myself. Still, it stung to know that not everyone saw it that way, that some were so quick to take Hannah's word over mine, without considering what I had been through. Hannah was on a mission, and her strategy was clear. She wanted everyone on her side, and she wasn't above twisting the truth to get what she wanted. I began to hear from friends about how hard Hannah was taking the breakup. According to them, she was a mess, barely able to get through her day. I knew Hannah, she was tough. This didn't sound like her at all, but the stories kept coming. Then, she targeted my family. My mom mentioned Hannah stopped by. She was all tears, talking about how lost she felt without me. My mom is all heart. She fell for it. By the time I heard about the visit, my mom was full of questions. Why wouldn't I consider giving Hannah another chance? She seemed so genuine. It got to a point where everywhere I turned, someone was singing Hannah's praises, telling me how much she had changed, how much she regretted her past actions. I met Valerie about a month after the last mess with Hannah. It was at a local coffee shop. I was there to grab my usual morning fix, just a regular black coffee to start the day. The place was busier than usual, which was odd for a Tuesday morning, and I found myself standing in a longer line than I'd anticipated. Valerie was in front of me. I hadn't noticed her at first, focused as I was on the menu, even though I knew exactly what I was going to order. It was when she turned slightly, looking for her wallet, that I really saw her. She apologized, thinking she'd bumped into me, but she hadn't. We exchanged a brief smile, and that was it. Or it should have been. The line moved slowly, and somehow, we started talking. It was about something trivial at first. I think she made a comment about how slow the line was moving and how she needed her caffeine fix before a big meeting. I agreed, mentioning I was there for my usual morning ritual before heading to work. The conversation flowed effortlessly from there, which was a surprise. I'm not usually the type to strike up conversations with strangers, especially not in the past few months. By the time we reached the counter, we'd covered our jobs, our favorite coffee, and discovered a mutual love for old school rock music. She ordered a caramel macchiato, and I stuck with my black coffee. We moved aside together to wait for our orders, still talking. When our drinks were ready, I found myself not wanting the conversation to end. It had been a long time since I'd felt this at ease talking to someone. So, I did something I hadn't done in years. I asked her if she wanted to sit down and drink our coffee together. To my relief, she said yes. We chose a table by the window. Our conversation continued, touching on everything from our favorite movies to our least favorite work tasks. It was natural, easy, and for the first time in a long while, I felt genuinely happy in the moment. As we talked, I found myself admiring her. Valerie was passionate about her job in graphic design, had a sharp wit, and her laugh was contagious. I learned she had moved to the city a few years ago and had worked hard to get where she was in her career. Her determination was evident, and it was one of the many things that drew me to her. But as much as I was enjoying our conversation, part of me couldn't help but feel guilty. I was still dealing with the fallout from my relationship with Hannah, and here I was, enjoying the company of another woman. It felt like I was moving on, or at least trying to, and I wasn't sure if I was ready for that. Despite these thoughts, I couldn't deny the connection I felt with Valerie. It was different from anything I'd experienced before. When it was time to leave, we exchanged numbers. I walked out of the coffee shop feeling lighter than I had in months, but also conflicted. Meeting Valerie had been unexpected, but it was a reminder that life goes on, and maybe, just maybe, I was ready to let it. One afternoon, I heard a knock on my door.